This is the Blitz Scoreboard Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues. Here's your host, Brent Martineau.
Hey, ready for another night of high school football in the area. We finally got a night that was not perfect with weather, rainy in some spots, and, well, shoes got soggy. Just ask Stuart Weber. We'll ask him about it a little bit later as he was at a couple of games, Trinity Christian and Lee, and also at the Ed White game. So we will take you there in a little bit of a sloppy one in terms of the turf. I was at Atlantic Coast and First Coast. Olivia Tassely's all over the area as well. And Marcel Robinson's at our game of the week, and he's got another dandy. Oh, yeah, Fernandina Beach and Hilliard. We're taking you there in just a little bit with live pictures, but 28-23 is the score. Hilliard with about 8 minutes to go in the game. So we will keep you posted on that one throughout the hour. That's what we do here. It's called the Blitz Scoreboard Show. We give you some scores. We give you some highlights. We also take you to live action from around the area, and we plan to get you to Bartram Trail as well. And you might be seeing one of those right off the start of the show. So let's get it rolling with scores and give you some updates on what's going on here in the area on a Friday night in late October. Hilliard's up 28-23 again. We'll take you there in a bit. That's our game of the week. St. Augustine looking good over Nice, 42-9. Sammy Edwards, I think, was our athlete of the week last week. Yes, he was. And our ESPN 690 athlete of the week brought to you by Honda of the Avenues. And he's probably having quite a day. The quarterback of St. Augustine up 42-9. Baker County looking to bounce back, and they're doing so over West Nassau. 21-6 lead in the third quarter. And Ridgeview over Menendez, 24-13 in the third. Clay trying to stay unbeaten, beating Middleburg 42-22. Matanzas 28-6 in the lead. Sewanee and Ponte Vedra in the second half, 7-0. Sewanee in the lead. So Ponte Vedra being shut out in the second half. Some time left though in that one. Hawthorne over Union County 22-7 in the second half. Glenn 21, South Effingham 3. If we take you up to Southeast Georgia, Wakulla is beating Columbia 10-0. Columbia with a tough schedule this year. It seems like week after week. Orange Park 28, Eastside 7. That one says halftime, but I got to believe they're in the second half there. Bartram and Oakleaf were tied 20-20 at halftime, and they are underway in the second half again. Live pictures coming up from Bartram Trail in St. Johns County. Bowles and University Christian love the matchup, love the game so far. 20-19. We had a camera there. We'll show it to you on the Friday Night Blitz tonight in terms of highlights, but it was back and forth in the first half, and Bowles leads by 1 as they get ready to go in the second half. Buchholz beating Fleming Island, and it's 21-7. The Golden Eagles got down 21-0. They obviously put a touchdown on the board, but they need a big second half comeback to get the W on the road in Gainesville. Bradford over Palatka 20-0 at the break. Branford beating Interlochen 12-0. That too at halftime. Brunswick back up to Southeast Georgia we go. 14-12 at the half over Statesboro. Rains putting it on Yulee tonight, 44-13. Valdosta over Westside, 27-0. And while that looks like a blowout, Westside, that's a real big step up in competition there. Valdosta's really good, and we'll see what if they can keep it close and respectable. That'd be a nice effort by Coach DuBose and the Wolverines. But right now it's 27-0 in that game. Let's see what else we have for you. Some scores. Trinity Christian beat Lee 14-6. Stuart Weber was there. We'll ask him about it. We might try to get Verlin Dormady here on the show tonight as well. First Coast over Atlantic Coast 21-16. I was there for that one, and a good win for Marty Lee and the Bucks. They were down 6-0 early. They come back and win 21-16. They've been an up and down all season long for First Coast. Same goes for Atlantic Coast. They've lost some close football games this year. This is a really good win for Bobby Ramsey and Mandarin. 29-14. They beat Sandalwood. They win by 15. Sandalwood was undefeated, and it's just been game after game for both of these programs. A tough schedule, and Mandarin able to pull off a win for the first time in a few weeks. They get the W over Sandalwood. Really nice win for Mandarin and Bobby Ramsey. Englewood beats Stanton 22-0. Ed White over Ribault 12-0. And we had some cancellations of games because of COVID-19, including Fletcher and Creekside. And that will do it for the scores, at least for now, as we continue to keep you updated on the scoreboard. You're getting a look at Bartram Trail and Oakleaf. This was 20-20 at halftime, and we'll get you updated on the score, but I'm going to assume it's that way in the third quarter. third quarter, 20-20, Coos says. So you're going to look at some live pictures. Obviously, Oakleaf has the football. Oakleaf coming off 2 really nice wins. They jumped out to a lead here, 13-3 over Bartram Trail, and now they're locked in a tie game, 20-20, as Walter Simmons III, headed to East Carolina, is there, the quarterback, number 2. He is one of the best in the area and has really turned it on in the last couple of weeks with a couple of big wins for the Oakleaf Knights. So you get a live look at some of the action on the handoff there for Oakleaf. We'll keep you posted on what is going on with the Oakleaf Knights and Bartram Trail, as Bartram Trail has been very good. It looks like Bartram Trail's defense made a nice stop as they're all fired up coming off the field, as that one you can tell is still in the third quarter if you peek at the scoreboard. We'll keep you posted. 4:15 to go in the third, all tied up at 20, and now it's Bartram Trail's football after making a big stop on fourth down. Baker County now is a 28-12 lead over West Nassau as they jump up the score, and so does Clay. They had a touchdown. It's now 49-22. Bobby Ramsey scheduled to join us in just a little bit. Verlin Dormany will join us as well. So we've got a packed show. We'll also have for you our Athlete of the Week this week and our Blitz QB High Five. You're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. And we're going to take you to all the action here tonight. Bartram Trail, Oakleaf, live pictures right now. We'll also send you over to our game of the week, which is Fernandina Beach and Hilliard. That one's a really good game, 28-23. Now probably under 5 minutes to go in the football game. Marcel Robinson is there. That was a 7 o'clock start. So we will have the finish of that one for you. But 2 close games right now that we're keeping a close eye on and you're seeing live pictures from. It's the beauty of this show. If you're just jumping in, and we know new people are figuring it out. It's the first year we've done this. We've now been doing it 5 or 6 weeks and having a blast. As we take you to some other games, we'll show you some highlights of games we've already been at. A bit of of our school football coverage that tonight leads into the Friday night blitz, as Bartram Trail looks like they might go ahead on the QB run. Was he down? He kept running. That's a really interesting call. See, don't you love it? You wish you had replay sometimes. No, we don't wish we had replay in high school football. The games would take even longer than they already do. We've got a shootout brewing, though, no doubt about it, at Bartram Trail High School. He might not have been down on that play. We'll have to go back and look at it later on as they try to go in and get the score. Bartram Trail, by the way, has been splitting QBs, Santino Marucci and Brody Davis, and both have been playing really good football. And nobody is better in the area at doing the 2 QB and sometimes 3 QB system in the area than Darryl Sutherland at Bartram Trail. He's had to do it in the past. It's worked for him in the past. If you go back to the Joey Gatewood days, and they're doing it again at Bartram Trail this year, and so far so good, as they've been very successful with just 1 loss on the season. Let's see if we get some score updates before we end up getting Bobby Ramsey on here in just a couple of minutes. I mentioned 49-22, Clay over Middleburg. Matanzas 28-6 over Lyman. Hawthorne 24-7 over Union County. And let's see if there's an update on anything that I didn't give you already. Nah, not so much. So that Bowles University Christian game is 20-19. We'll keep you posted on the scores. I started to mention the Friday Night Blitz tonight. This is an extension of our Friday Night Blitz coverage on TV on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Just a note, because of the World Series, we're not on the radio side with this show. We usually are, but we're not tonight because of the World Series. And we also won't be on TV with the Blitz at 10:30. Normally we are on Fox 30, but we will be just on the app and also on Action News Jack's Facebook page. So we'll have full highlights and commercial free on TV. Well, at 10:30, not on TV. But then at 11:20 on CBS 47 and Fox 30, we'll have an abbreviated edition like we always do of the Friday Night Blitz. So that is coming up. That's the plan for tonight. And you are watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Of course, the Bartram Trail game and Oakleaf game. It'd be better if my computer would work a little bit better, Coos, right now. We got our internet looking okay, or what? Maybe it's just my computer. I'll battle that for a little bit, but we will definitely take you to those games along the way. I mentioned the Athlete of the Week. We'll also have our QB Blitz High Five, our Blitz QB High Five coming up. I think the schedule feels a little bit lighter tonight in high school football, but we've still got some dandies. Oakleaf and Bartram still tied at 20 as Bartram look to be going in. And you might be seeing it, and I can't because my computer's not working so well. The other one that we're keeping an eye on, Hilliard 28, Fernandina Beach 23. And that one's in the fourth quarter, deep into the fourth quarter. And it's been a good one all night long. Rains is now up top in a big way, coming off that big win over Ribault over on Saturday. And that's always an interesting one. If you go back to Saturday, of course, we didn't get to that game last Friday night here on the Blitz Scoreboard show. You never know who's going to win that. And Rains come in losing some games, looked kind of down. Ribault had been tough in a lot of other games. And then, bam, all of a sudden, Rains puts it on them. And they beat up Ribault pretty good there at the Graveyard. And then tonight, Ribault falls, Rains wins. So a good couple of weeks for the Rains Vikings. A good night for the Mandarin Mustangs as well, as we say hello to Bobby Ramsey here on the show. I think it's the first time Bobby Ramsey's called into the Blitz Scoreboard show. New show this year, Coach. Thanks for jumping in.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Congrats on the win. That's a big one, too. You guys said before you came on, both you and Sandalwood have played a really good schedule. Sandalwood was able to squeak out a couple of close wins. You guys have been on the short end of things. This is a big win for you tonight.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, we've really been through a lot. The team's been through a lot, and not everybody has. I mean, with COVID and whatnot. So you don't want to make excuses. But, we've lost a lot of guys to COVID and quarantining and injuries. And, it's kind of been robbing Peter to pay Paul with the roster in terms of moving this guy here because this guy's out and this and that. And, we just kept telling the players, you're a good football team. You're a good football team. We played some really good teams. And, a couple games we had a chance. And they got it done and we didn't. A couple weeks we didn't play well.
Bobby Ramsey with us, coming off a 29-14 win over Sandalwood tonight. And Sandalwood has looked good. Chris Calhoun's good quarterback over there. They've got a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball. What went well for you tonight? What did you guys do well to give you the W that you maybe hadn't been doing the last few weeks enough of?
Well, I think defensively, first of all, we did a good job of limiting their run game. In particular with Calhoun, he's real. Now, he hit us on some scrambles, but the designed runs, the powers and things like that, we did a much better job defending the run than we've done in the last few weeks. And I think that helped make a big difference. And offensively, conversely, we stayed committed to the run and we had success with it. We didn't go away from it. And we had some success throwing. We hit some big plays and in the kicking game, we were sharp. We didn't make any mistakes that could have hurt us. So, we've been waiting for this game where all three phases play solid football, and it happened tonight.
Bobby Ramsey with us, Mandarin with a win, 29-14. You're listening to the Blitz Scoreboard show. Brent Martineau here. What is your outlook on this season because the playoffs exist? How different is that for you from a coaching standpoint that, hey, all right, we took some lumps, but that's okay. It doesn't really, in the grand scheme of things, matter. I know everything matters, but in the grand scheme of things, from a record standpoint, even a seeding standpoint, it doesn't really mean that much. And now maybe you can start to build toward this postseason as we get closer and closer. How are you viewing it? How are you coaching that up? Because you always want to be peaking later in the year anyway.
Well, I think we just felt like we needed to focus on this week and this week alone and, just focus on trying to be 1-0 on Friday night. And we needed to play better. You get that opportunity. Everybody does. But if you're not playing well, you're not going to be in very long. So the focus was let's figure out a way to get this football team to play much better. And we did that. And I think we treat each week as its own. And I felt like this season that the games are so special because you just don't know if you're going to have one.
Yeah.
And, I think you owe it to your players to keep them focused on that week and that week alone. And I mean, postseason this year, especially in 8A, and I know there's playoffs, but a third of the teams in 8A won't even be participating. I understand that, if you win a state title, you're going to call yourself a state champion and this and that. But I think it would be wrong, to look at that and not focus on each week because it is you just don't know how many games you're going to be able to give your kids.
Yeah, that's a good point, and that's part of it, and you're right. I mean, there's so many schools that have said, hey, we're ready to go again next week, and bam, all of a sudden next week comes, and you don't even know if you can play or you can't play. We've seen a lot of cancellations, but it's cool that everybody's giving it a try, and you get a big win over Sandalwood tonight. Last thought on this, because holy cats, man. I mean, every time we talk to you, we say Derrick Henry's name, but how fun is this to watch? Hey, you got some quotes in the New York Times. The stiff arm, New York Times. Was it New York Times? Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it was. Yeah, I felt like Daniel Ellsberg, or like the Pentagon Papers or something, But no, it was. You kind of, I don't want to say get used to it, but I always kind of know when he does something special. People always tend to go back and I think everybody forgets how good he was in high school, and then somebody on Twitter posts his senior stats or whatnot, and then you're kind of like, okay, you're probably going to hear. I didn't know I was going to hear from the New York Times, but you're going to hear something from somebody. And the stiff arm has kind of taken on a life of its own. And I just always, I sometimes in the NFL games, I've said this when he was at college, and some of the stuff he does physically, this 6 foot, 230-pound defender. Looks like the 5'9", 175-pound kid in high school. Sometimes it's not that much different.
No doubt about it. I mean, hey, it is pretty cool. I mean, that's how big Derrick has become, and what he's doing in the NFL right now, what the Titans are doing is just unbelievable. And to get the New York Times writing about how your stiff arm and how crazy it is, and I love that you guys have nicknames for it and all that. A lot of fun stuff. Keep enjoying the ride. I know you're super proud of him and proud of your football team tonight. Good win for Mandarin. Good luck the rest of the way, man. Appreciate you jumping in.
Thanks a lot, Brent. I really appreciate it, man. Take care.
You got it. Bobby Ramsey jumping in with us. Big win for Mandarin. Of course, if you don't know the backstory with Bobby Ramsey and Derrick Henry, he coached Derrick Henry at Yulee, and he built the program up at Yulee as well. A lot of folks, I always say this and remind people of this because it's important. Bobby Ramsey is a really good football coach, and I think that showed up not only when Derrick Henry left, and Yulee kept winning games, but also when he went to Mandarin and they won a state championship a couple years ago with Carson Beck and Mario Douglas and all these other great talented players, that they also had a super good coach too. So what a run it's been for Bobby Ramsey, and the pride has got to be unbelievable for him to watch Derrick Henry and see what he's been able to do. It's been super fun to watch. We're showing you Fernandina Beach Hilliard. This is the end of this game. I think it's still 28-23. We'll get an update on that game. We'll take you here and also to Oakleaf and Bartram. That one's a tight one in the second half down in St. Johns County as well. But let's take a break. Coos, they'll take a timeout. When we come back, more scores, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, more highlights from games we went to tonight, and more conversations with coaches, including Trinity Christian's Verlin Dormany. The Conquerors get a win tonight on the road at Lee in the backyard. A pretty good one for the Conquerors. We'll be back. It's the Blitz Scoreboard Show on ESPN 690.
Keep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12. He will go down. He finds the promised land. Touchdown, FSU.
This is your home for FSU football.
15 to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown to Mario Terry. He is scary. Intercepted. Picked off of the 33-yard line. Noles win. Noles win.
Catch live coverage of the Seminoles all season long, right here on your home for Florida State football.
Right here on ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio and the Florida State Seminoles.
Back to school also means back to Friday night football. Get to the game in style in a new Honda from Honda of the Avenues. Their incredible summer clearance event is going on now to make room for the new 2021 models. Find great deals and haul the whole team in a new Odyssey, Pilot, or CRV. Plus, Hondas are safe and reliable, just what you and your team need. Don't miss kickoff. Stop by the Honda Giant on Phillips Highway just a few yards south of the Avenues to see all their inventory, or start looking right now at HondaoftheAvenues.com.
Donato's Pizza is proud to support the Florida State Seminoles. When it comes to pizza for game time, we can suit any taste. From 100 pepperonis on a large loaded edge-to-edge on smoked provolone and Romano, to our delicious and healthy cauliflower crust tomato bruschetta with plant-based sausage, to mariachi chicken, to the founder's favorite, and more. We offer a convenient pickup window or prompt delivery. Just give Donato's a try. That's all we ask. Order at 904donatos.com or call 904 Donatos on your phone.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? Being a member of the Air Force Reserve. It's doing a job that makes a difference, serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve. To find out about local job opportunities with the Air Force Reserve at MacDill Air Force Base or Eglin Air Force Base, call 800-257-1212 or go to afreserve.com. This message is sponsored by the Air Force Reserve, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need to be involved in the community. Then you need to...
Whoa. I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions, your local marketing team putting you at the top of mind. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today and let us take your business to the next level. Local Solutions, powered by Cox Media Group. Marketing solved.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Welcome into the show, a name you know. If you've been listening and watching ESPN for a long time, I know you know him. We're going to call him one of the forefathers, if you will, of sports radio, Mike Greenberg.
Thank you. Forefathers is an interesting, that's fascinating. Every day, as I talk to more people, I get older and older. So that's kind of funny.
Listen weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. in your car or stream them. ESPN690.com.
Now, back to the Blitz Scoreboard Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Brent Martineau, Coos along the way. We appreciate all the work Justin Coozart does on this show as we take you live to Fernandina Beach and Hilliard. Final few minutes of this one. Hilliard up 36-31 at last check. Marcel Robinson is there, so he is sharing the updates with us. The scoreboard, at least that we have, might be a little bit behind. So we are trusting Marcel Robinson's video feed of the last few minutes out there. Hilliard, who's undefeated, Fernandina Beach 5-2. Hilliard trying to stay undefeated, up by 5 late in this football game. And we got a pretty good one once again. Wherever Marcel Robinson goes, the games are usually pretty good. And so far, so good tonight. We'll also take you to Oakleaf and Bartram Trail. That game is in the third quarter, so we have plenty of time to take you there. Some more scores to pass along if you're just jumping in here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. St. Augustine beating Nice, not over yet, 42-16. Baker County bouncing back after a loss to Bowles, up 28-12 late. Clay 56-22 over Middleburg. I tell you what, Trey Griner, Alcurius Ray, and Clay, they can score some points. Hilliard's up 36-31 against Fernandina Beach. That's the game you are looking at right now here on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, if you're on there as well. Buchholz, 21-14 over Fleming Island. Now, the Golden Eagles have scored 2 touchdowns unanswered, so they're climbing back in, only down a score in the fourth quarter. Hawthorne beating Union County 24-7. Brunswick now trailing Statesboro by 3 in southeast Georgia. Orange Park over Eastside 28-7. Bartram Trail and Oakleaf still tied at 20 at last check. Rains beating Yulee 44-13. And we'll continue to update you on some of these scores. And part of it is, Coos, I might need to hit refresh once in a while. This might not automatically refresh. Just sometimes takes me a little while to figure these kind of things out. And as I do that, 36-31 does pop up for that Hilliard game. See that? It's a smart move by me. Just took me about 10 minutes to figure it out. I'm like, why aren't these scores moving? How can this game still be in this part of the only like the third quarter or at halftime? That can't be true. And Bowles now has gone up by 7 over University Christian, 26-19. Sewanee over Ponte Vedra, 14-0. Bradford beating Palatka, 28-zip. Brantford over Interlochen, 12-7 as the Rams are on the board. Glenn over South Effingham, 28-3. Frederica, 48, Memorial Day, nothing. The Matadors from Memorial Day. Wakulla, 17-8 over Columbia, as Columbia is now on the board. Valdosta at the half, beating Westside, 27-0. Trinity Christian beat Lee, 14-6 today. We should have Verlin Dormady, the head coach of Trinity Christian, coming on the show shortly. First Coast beat Atlantic Coast, 21-16. Atlantic Coast loses another close game. And I was over at that one once again. Ridge Jacobs going to Holy Cross, connected with Pat Bryant for a big play. He's going to Illinois. Illinois playing Wisconsin tonight as the Big Ten opens things up. And I haven't even checked the score, so I don't even know who's winning that game. Mandarin 29-14. We just had Bobby Ramsey on. Big win over Sandalwood as Bobby Ramsey said it best, just week after week, as you get to play, you just appreciate the fact that you're even playing during this COVID-19 world we're living in. Inglewood with the W on the road at Stanton, 22-0. Ed White beats Ribault 12-0. And a couple of games canceled along the way. Coos, let me know if you get any updates at all, but it looks like Fernandina Beach and Hilliard, looks like they've been in the same spot on my computer for quite a long time, but Hilliard in the lead 36-31. A couple minutes left in that game as Marcel Robinson is there, and we will get updates from Marcel Robinson on the way. Brent Martineau here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. You're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Not on the radio side tonight, but I think we have Verlin Dormany on, or is that Stewart? Stewart? Okay. Hey, close enough. Well, not really at all, but he was at the Trinity Christian League game, so let's welcome in Stewart right now. What's up, man? You were at a sloppy, soggy field tonight. Tell us about your shoes.
I'm on shoes number 2 for the night. That's really all you need to know.
Got a little rain in the area in the last couple of days and even earlier tonight, and we'll show you the Ed White game, and you can tell it will be laundry galore for those guys, to say the least. Tell us about the Trinity Christian League game, because you were there at the early part of that one, but a good win by Trinity over Lee, who had been undefeated, and that one was in the backyard.
Yeah, no doubt. And Lee's a team that, obviously has not lost coming into this one tonight. So a good team for Trinity Christian to go and get a win on the road. That's 2 weeks in a row now that Trinity defense has bowed up and played some really good ball out there and able to get the job done. I mean, they beat American Heritage down in South Florida 3-0 on a last-second field goal, which, by the way, you saw on the Blitz Scoreboard show. So, you're welcome.
We did.
And then tonight, all they do is give up 6 points against a pretty potent Lee offense that needed a fake punt to move that ball down the field and get the chance to even score those 6 points. So really good work by that Trinity Christian defense. And, that side of the ball always filled with studs for the Conquerors. And, they do enough on offense with Ja'Cory Jordan at a quarterback, able to lead the way and get them into the end zone twice, and they come out with a nice victory. It's really interesting how much they've turned around, and I know you can ask Coach Verlin Dormany about this, since that Bowls game that they opened the season with. I mean, it was a disheartening start to the year for the Conquerors, because I was at the first half of that one, and it was all Bowls. Like, not even a little bit of Trinity Christian showed up in that first half of the season opener. So they have made leaps and bounds since that moment and have really picked up their play as the season has gone along.
All right, Stuart Weber with us. We're watching Lee. Kuz, do me a favor and flip back to the Fernandina Beach game if you can, because there's less than a minute to go in that game. 36-31. Hilliard is up by 5, and they had a 4th down. Let's see if we'll see the 4th down, or we might just miss the conclusion of that. Yeah, I think you can tell. Hilliard's excited. Fernandina Beach didn't get it. So 36-31 is how this one's going to end. Hilliard's going to stay undefeated as Fernandina Beach had a 4th down bid to try to keep the drive alive, trailing by 5, not able to do so. So Hilliard will get the W, and a big one to stay undefeated. That's been a good story out there in Hilliard, Stuart Weber.
Yeah, no doubt. And there's a reason we touted that one as our game of the week, because, like you said, I mean, Hilliard hasn't lost this year, and that's awesome for that community. With such a crazy season that they had last year, and the adversity that they kind of had to go through with Nathan Dowie, their quarterback, having that really traumatic injury early in the season, and the team rallying around him. He wasn't able to play again, but they were able to rally around him and make that great run that they did and win a bunch of ball games and really bring that community together. So, it is awesome to see Coach John Pate able to keep it going here in 2020, and they keep winning. They keep winning against a really great turnaround story as well as Fernandina Beach, who, for years now has just been kind of the doormat of Nassau County, but they have really turned it around there on the beach with Cam Miller, the electric playmaker, as their quarterback / game ender for double OT games. I mean, he got the interception to end it last week against West Nassau. So, good on both to come up and have a really entertaining showcase game for Nassau County tonight.
Well, there you see Hilliard in celebration mode. The Flashes get it done. Another win for Hilliard as they beat Fernandina Beach 36-31 and stay. There's a little bit of a rivalry there, it looked like, as we got some theatrics at the end of that game. But they've been 36-31 to stay undefeated. Fernandina Beach drops to 5-3. These two teams, they've been playing a lot of football. They've been combined 10-2 coming into this one. It lived up to the billing. Really good football game. Fernandina Beach was stopped on a 4th down late. Marcel Robinson will have the highlights and post-game reaction coming up on the Friday Night Blitz at 10:30 on the Facebook page of Action News Jax. Let's go to the Oakleaf-Bartram game if we can, Coos. I see Menendez and Ridgeview. You flipped over to that one. Good deal. 31-21. Ridgeview is beating Menendez. One last thought from you, Stuart. Sorry we keep flipping around some of the scores, but that's what it is all about. Ed White, 12-0 win. Kind of a slop fest over there when you were there, right?
Oh yeah, that field was messy. They got a lot of rain there in the first half, and I know Ed White able to score 2 touchdowns, and hey, sometimes that's just how it happens. You know, you get there after all the good stuff has kind of happened, but that's okay with us. We're happy to get there for a little bit. You know, Ed White and that offense with Jason Patterson, their great running back. Really wasn't even doing anything in the second half either, and neither could Ribault. Both teams, with some fumbles and some messed up punts, and we'll have 2 different punt plays show up in the highlights tonight. That's what kind of game it was from that one out of Ed White tonight. But the Commanders get another win tonight, and improve their record now. They move up to 4-2 on the year, 4-3 rather. And they got some nice wins in there. You talk about a win over Parker and now a win over Ribault in back-to-back weeks. That's good stuff for the coach over there at Ed White, Lawrence Johnson, and then able to get it done. And we'll see how they keep it going. They got Mandarin next week to end the regular season. Then they get a rematch with Bishop Kenny, who they had a tight game in the regular season with in the first round of the playoffs. So it should be fun to see what Ed White's able to do the rest of the way. All
right, Stuart Weber putting together our Friday Night Blitz tonight at 10:30. We'll have it on the Action News Jax Facebook page, the Action News Jax app as well, and then on the TV side at 11:20 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Once again, programming reminder, we usually have that on Fox 30 at 10:30 for a half hour. We're going to go commercial-free digitally. The World Series is on instead. All right, Stuart, we'll talk to you a little bit later.
Sounds good, and I believe we're going to have it on the Action Sports Jax Twitter account as well for the stream of the Blitz at 10:30. We're trying to get it to as many places as we can for the people.
You'll be able to find it. That is for sure. You just got to look for it a little bit. All right, Stuart Weber, we're going to get Verlin Dormany coming on in just a few minutes. And as we do that, Oakleaf has just taken the lead over Bartram Trail. They now lead 27-20. They're in the fourth quarter. Looks like about 8 minutes to go. And so you'll see live pictures of this one, just like you just saw Hilliard beat Fernandina Beach. And we continue to bounce around the area. Coos took us to Ridgeview, winning that game 31-21. That was over Menendez, and we continue to see the bottom line of some scores coming in as you listen and watch on our ESPN 690 Twitter, Facebook, YouTube page, my Twitter page at Brent A.S. Jax, and also on Twitch. We have a Twitch page, ESPN 690 Jax. You can go visit as well for you gamers out there that might be on Twitch. Anyway, Fleming Island trying to come back over Buchholz, down 21-14. You can see the scores there. The Sewanee Bulldogs are beating Ponte Vedra 14-0. So Ponte Vedra trying to get something going on offense and haven't been able to do so just yet. Orange Park looking good tonight. Over East Side, 28-7 for Coach McPherson. Rains gets the win, and there is that Ridgeview Menendez score, although it says 24-13. We just saw it was 31-21 on that scoreboard. So patience as the scoreboards update as they want to update. That 36-31 Hilliard game, that's our game of the week, brought to you by Honda of the Avenues. And that's over. Hilliard wins 36-31. They remain undefeated, 6-0. And there you see Fleming Island. They just posted their score, and now they're all tied up. They've scored 21 unanswered to tie up Gainesville Buchholz. I tell you what, Fleming Island has had one of the wackiest seasons as they have blown leads. They have come back. They have lost in overtime. I shouldn't say they've blown leads. I mean, they did lose a lead to Oakleaf and then lost in overtime, as I remember correctly. But they've really come back. They beat Creekside after being down 23-6. Now they were down 21-0 in this one, and they've come back to tie the game up. So unbelievable. Fleming Island, what a wild story they are, and they continue to get things done there at Fleming Island. Let's see if they can pull off the comeback and get the win here tonight. Brent Martineau on the Blitz Scoreboard show as we take you around the area. Trinity Christian beat Lee tonight. And once again, you're watching Bartram Trail and Oakleaf as this game is in the fourth quarter, about 8 minutes to go. Oakleaf just took the lead by a touchdown. Really good game. Oakleaf's playing really good football down the stretch of this season, in the middle part of this season, as one of those wins came against Fleming Island in overtime. We want to tell you a little bit about our Athlete of the Week as well. We do each week on ESPN690.com. You can vote. We nominate. You can nominate as well, by the way, if you go to ESPN690.com. And one of your nominations actually ended up being the Athlete of the Week for this week. So we appreciate you participating. And then all the school pride with everybody that's jumping in. Caitlyn Fultz is this week's winner. She's a volleyball player from Orange Park High School, and she is our Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Honda of the Avenues for this week number 5 for us doing the Athlete of the Week contest. And we appreciate everybody that was voting along the way and nominating. You can continue to do that. ESPN690.com is the way to do it. Cam Miller and also Kale Zara were the other nominees, and they've been having excellent seasons. Cam for Fernandina Beach and Kale for Lee, and they've been playing great football. But this week, our Athlete of the Week is Caitlyn Fultz, Orange Park High School volleyball player. And I believe Orange Park lost the other night in the postseason of the volleyball tournament, but still a good year for Orange Park volleyball and Caitlyn Fultz. And congratulations to her. She is our Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Honda of the Avenues on ESPN 690. And you go to ESPN690.com if you want to nominate or if you want to vote for our high school Athlete of the Week. A new set of nominees will be up there coming up on Monday. Coos, let's take a timeout. When we come back, we should hear from Verlin Dormady, the head coach from the Trinity Christian Conquerors, and we'll give you some more scores and updates. Plus, you'll continue to watch live action. Bartram Trail, Oakleaf in the lead in the fourth quarter. And it looks like they might have the ball back. Did I just miss an interception or a turnover? Or maybe it was a punt. I just clicked back, and all of a sudden, Oakleaf had the ball. Oakleaf trying to protect the 7-point lead on the road in St. Johns County. We'll see how it ends right here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. We continue next.
Keep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12. He will go down. He signs the promised land. Touchdown FSU.
This is your home for FSU football.
15 to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown to Mario Terry. He is scary. Intercepted. Picked off of the 33-yard line. Noles win.
Catch live coverage of the Seminoles all season long, right here on your home for Florida State football.
Right here on ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio and the Florida State Seminoles.
Back to school also means back to Friday night football. Get to the game in style in a new Honda from Honda of the Avenues. Their incredible summer clearance event is going on now to make room for the new 2021 models. Find great deals and haul the whole team in a new Odyssey, Pilot, or CRV. Plus, Hondas are safe and reliable, just what you and your team need. Don't miss kickoff. Stop by the Honda Giant on Phillips Highway, just a few yards south of the Avenues, to see all their inventory, or start looking right now at HondaoftheAvenues.com.
Donato's Pizza is proud to support the Florida State Seminoles. When it comes to pizza for game time, we can suit any taste. From 100 pepperonis on a large loaded edge-to-edge on smoked provolone and Romano, to our delicious and healthy cauliflower crust tomato bruschetta with plant-based sausage, to mariachi chicken, to the founder's favorite, and more. We offer a convenient pickup window or prompt delivery. Just give Donato's a try. That's all we ask. Order at 904donatos.com or call 904 Donatos on your phone.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? Being a member of the Air Force Reserve. It's doing a job that makes a difference, serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve. To find out about local job opportunities with the Air Force Reserve at MacDill Air Force Base or Eglin Air Force Base, call 800-257-1212 or go to afreserve.com. This message is sponsored by the Air Force Reserve, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need to be involved in the community. Then you need to...
Whoa. I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions, your local marketing team putting you at the top of mind. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today and let us take your business to the next level. Local Solutions, powered by Cox Media Group. Marketing solved.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Welcome into the show, a name you know. If you've been listening and watching ESPN for a long time, I know you know him. We're going to call him one of the forefathers, if you will, of sports radio, Mike Greenberg.
Thank you. Forefathers is an interesting. That's fascinating. Every day, as I talk to more people, I get older and older. So that's kind of funny.
Listen weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. in your car or stream them. ESPN690.com.
Now, back to the Blitz Scoreboard Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. You're watching Bartram Trail and Oakleaf, 27-20. Oakleaf leads in the fourth quarter. Got to be under 5 minutes to go now. Oakleaf has the football. So keep an eye on that one right here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. We're showing you live pictures on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And right now, we welcome you back to the show. I'm Brent Morton. We are joined by Trinity Christian football coach Verlin Dormany off another win. Nice win over Lee in the backyard. A little sloppy out there tonight, wasn't it, Coach?
Cool. That's 2 weeks in a row. But last week we got to play on turf. Tonight, it was truly the backyard. It was nasty.
Hey, 2 weeks in a row, your defense comes up big. How about that game last week, which I probably should ask you a little bit more about. I know it's a week ago in the rear view, but we showed that one, the game-winning kick. Caleb Stevenson, I believe, was the young man's name right here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. What a game that was. That's a big win to go down there and get that W.
It was big. Kids played unbelievable. We left Friday morning. It's a 5-hour ride, and to get off the bus and play as well as they did. They I think they just really had something to prove. They got that big loss early in the season, and so they felt like this is a game that we just need to go play. And they played great defense. And special teams showed up, and offense. I think they might have stayed on the bus, but we got to win.
Verlin Dormany with us, Trinity Christian head coach. And then you get the win tonight over an undefeated elite team playing really well. And Kale Zari, good young quarterback, 14-6. So your defense shows up again. I mean, back-to-back weeks, you're giving up 9 points the last two games.
Yeah, one.
6 points.
A great fake punt early in the, I think it was the second quarter, and got us and drove the ball down the side. Quarterback quarterback power. He did a great job on the fake, and we bit down on the back, and he held it and shot right up the middle for about a 10-yard run for a touchdown. You know what? Then our defense just clamped on. We were able to go right back and answer. We had a fourth and 1, and we ran our own quarterback, and he broke out of the pop and got about 35, 40 yards and scored, and we were able to kick the extra point to go up 7-6. And it stayed like that till, probably late in the first half we scored to make it, was it late in the first half? Maybe the third quarter, I can't remember. Anyway, we scored to make it 14-6. We missed a field goal in there somewhere. But, Lee's defense is good too now. I'm telling you, they were energized about playing us, and they were getting after the football.
Yeah, they obviously OJ does a great job over there, and they've been very good. Just a reminder to folks as we visit with Verlin Dormany after Trinity Christian gets another nice win, 14-6. You're keeping an eye on Bartram Trail Oakleaf, and that's Santino Marucci, the quarterback for Bartram Trail, trying to lead them back. They're down 27-20 in the fourth quarter, under 5 minutes to go. We're giving you a live look in at Bartram Trail against Oakleaf. Really good game. We got some good football. I tell you, I've been saying to Stewart every Friday night. I feel like this is a fantastic year of high school football, Coach. I know you've had to deal with so many things. I know you didn't have as much lead-in time as you'd like. I feel like some of the games in the area have been fantastic week to week.
Yeah, they have been. You know what? There's some great football being played right now, and I think maybe not us, but there's a lot of people playing great offense right now, and usually the defenses are ahead of the offenses, but it's been a lot of fun to watch. There's some good football being played around the city right now.
Let me keep you for one more moment. I want to ask you about, because of the pandemic, because of everything you guys had to have gone through, a lot of times you can shape your team, or you try to shape your team, I would think, as a coach in August, late July, and you guys go up to Southeast Georgia. Was it difficult to do that, to kind of form an identity this year and kind of see who you want to be and preach who you want to be, given the fact that you didn't really know what the heck was going on half the time?
Yeah, I mean, of course, everybody's thrown out of the routine. And, of course, our kids were together from we started lifting on June the 1st. And we took 1 week off because we had a couple of kids that tested positive. And they didn't, of course, had no symptoms or anything like that. We had to take about 10 days off. But that was the only break we had between June the 1st and the time we started practice, the 24th of August. And so our kids have been together a lot, but it was mornings. And then, of course, we started school, I think, like the 8th or 9th of August. So we had about 2 weeks together before we really got to put on pads and play. But, yeah, not getting to go to Georgia this year. I mean, a lot of the older kids were telling the younger kids, you don't know what you missed. You missed that trip to Georgia. It's a love-hate relationship. They hate all the hard work that goes into it, but they talk about the food all the time and how good it is.
I still talk about the food, Coach.
Yeah, it's incredible. It is a lot. It's a lot. That's the only place you could go sweat for 7-8 hours a day and gain weight.
Very true. Luckily, I didn't have to do the sweating. Instead, the kids did. But it's a great trip up to Southeast Georgia. You guys do annual. Will you resume that hopefully next year?
Hopefully we get a chance to go up and do that again. Our kids, it's a great time just to gel and get together as a team because they don't have any cell service. We're way out in the woods, and it's just us and them and football. And we try to teach to them about what we do and what Trinity means as far as being a Christian school, and that's big. So gives us a chance to really drive home our point and bring them together as a team.
Well, you got a couple more weeks to get these guys ready for the playoffs. It's just around the corner now. Rains and Ribault coming up, and then you'll play Baldwin in the playoffs to get things going as far as I can see it. So good luck the rest of the way, and thanks for joining us. First ever time on the Blitz Scoreboard Show, Coach. We appreciate you doing that.
Hey, thanks for having me, Brent.
You got it. Have a good night. That's Verlin Dormany off a win 14-6 over Lee. And by the way, while we were talking to Coach, A.J. Jones from Bartram Trail scored a touchdown, and so we've got a tie game. Here we go again, Coos. We are taking you live to Bartram Trail High School. This is in St. Johns County. Oakleaf Bartram Trail tied at 27, and I think I saw the scoreboard say 3:49 to go in the game. So the ball will go back to Walter Simmons III in Oakleaf, and they've been in some tight games lately, including that overtime game we showed you a couple weeks ago here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. So let's see how this one ends. And a good kickoff return, it looks like, as long as there's no flags down. I might be a shade behind what you're seeing, but I'm going to talk us through it anyway, because this is the fun part of the Blitz Scoreboard Show, in my opinion. Kuz, as always, if you need to jump in and tell me that you saw something big, you make sure you do it. But we'll keep folks in the loop here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Bartram Trail, Oakleaf tied at 27. Under 4 minutes to play, and Oakleaf now gets back on the football field, trying to win the game. A couple other scores to pass along. Baker County 28-12 over West Nassau. Clay beats up on Middleburg 56-22 at last check. Buchholz now has answered. Fleming Island came back down 21-0. They tied at 21-all, and now it's 24-21. Buchholz has taken a field goal lead in that game as we show you live action of Walter Simmons III and Oakleaf trying to win down at Bartram Trail. That one's tied up as we give you some more scores as we close up shop here in just about 10 minutes. Sewanee over Ponte Vedra, 14-0 at last check. Bradford, Palatka, 36-0 for the Tornadoes. Hawthorne beating up Union County 30-14. Brantford 12-7 over Interlochen in the fourth. 24-15 Wakulla over Columbia in the fourth. 28-7 Orange Park. That's been stuck on 28-7 for a while. Ridgeview is actually up 31-21 over Menendez. That's why sometimes I don't trust some of the scores here. And let me refresh my page because I made the mistake of doing that the last time. And so we might have some fresh scores coming up. As some of them were correct that I gave you. It looks like that. Bowles over University Christian 26-19. We'll show you some of the highlights of that one. It was an entertaining first half. Coming up on the Friday Night Blitz at 10:30 on Action News Jack's Facebook page and on the app, and we'll also have it on Twitter. Valdosta over West Side in the second half, 34-0. We just had Verlin Dormany on. Trinity Christian beats Lee 14-6. First Coast over Atlantic Coast 21-16. Mandarin, we had Bobby Ramsey on earlier in the show, 29-14 over Sandalwood. Englewood 22, Stanton nothing. Ed White 12, Ribault nothing. Ribault's lost a couple in a row now. St. Augustine beats Nice 49-16. A good win for Brian Braddock and company. They're at home. Reigns over Yulee 44-13. And Cedar Creek Christian lost 36-6. The game that we're keeping an eye on right now is this one. Bartram Trail and Oakleaf, 27-27. Late in the game, Walter Simmons III and Oakleaf have the football. And the ball's batted up in the air and almost picked. What a nice play by Walter Simmons III, trying to get that interception out of there. And, well, it might have been fourth down. Yeah, it was. Kuz says turnover on down, so it didn't matter the interception or not. Now Bartram Trail gets the ball back with 2.5 minutes to go, tied at 27, and they give it to their offense, who just scored moments ago, to tie the game up. That's how good this one is. 2:32 to go. As you can see, the scoreboard tied at 27 apiece. I want to get to our Blitz QB high five, but I almost don't want to go anywhere yet, Kuz. So let's just keep it on Bartram Trail. We've got about 10 minutes left in the show anyhow. So it's okay if we keep it here and talk everyone through this one, since this is a really good one. Bartram Trail and Oakleaf. Oaks, some games. And I'll get everybody challenging themselves with some really difficult schedules. I think Mandarin and Sandalwood are a great example of that, as Mandarin won today 29-14. Santino Marucci and Brody Davis are the quarterbacks for Bartram Trail. They play a 2 QB system, but Marucci back in the game for this drive. Wake Forest commit is Santino Marucci, and they have a very good field goal kicker. Bartram does. So we'll keep an eye on that. But he's got a big leg. He's a Kansas commit, and David Kemp is his name. So if they get into field goal range late in this game, high school, you never know with kicking. But Bartram Trail might have the best kicker in the area, and they like their kicker. So they will not be afraid, Darryl Sutherland, to try a game-winning kick, even from some distance. As you take a look at Santino Marucci trying to get some yards for Bartram Trail. A.J. Jones just scored a short time ago to make it 27-27. Oakleaf had the lead 13-3 in this game. It was 20-20 at halftime. A lot of defense in the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, Oakleaf took the lead 27-20. About 8 minutes to go, I want to say. And then with about 4.5 minutes to go, Bartram Trail answered. They scored to tie the game up. Oakleaf just had the football, turnover on downs around midfield, and now Bartram Trail has it. It looks on Oakleaf's side of the field with under 2 minutes to play, and Santino Marucci is number 11, A.J. Jones number 3. He's got the football, and he's going to go down. It looks a little slippery down there, too, all across the area. There was some rain earlier tonight. A lot of rain in St. Johns County yesterday, and I'm assuming in Duval County too. So field's already in rough shape, and we got more rain to add to it today. So it's going to be fourth down. Look at Ryan Kendall's our man, one of our news photographers down there for the Friday Night Blitz. Helps us out each and every week. And look at him. I mean, this is live action. He's going to the fourth down sticks. Gotta love him. That a baby Ryan Kendall, as we got a timeout on the field. And we show you the finish of this football game between Bartram Trail and Oakleaf, 2 really good football teams, 2 really good football programs. And I think I saw that the ball was on like the 30-something yard line, 34-yard line. It looked like the scoreboard said as the camera went by. And I'm telling you what, Kemp's got the leg. If it's like, I think he's kicked a 52-yard field goal this year. I'm going to stay with it. I'm going to tweet everybody about it, too. So if there's a moment of silence, I'm sorry. Fourth down play right here for Bartram Trail. Are they going for the field goal? Yes, they are going for the field goal. So here's Kemp. You might want to let me know if this goes in, Coos, because you can see it before I can. Look at that booming kick from Kemp, and he got it. That had to be 51. I think it had to be 51 or 52. That was a big kick by David Kemp, and now Bartram Trail is in the lead. Wait a minute, the ball was on the 37. That's like a 54-yard field goal depends where they spot it. But a high school 54-yard field goal, probably right around there. And now it's 30-27 as Bartram scored 10 unanswered points with 83 seconds to go in the football game. I wasn't sure if they were lined up for the field goal, but I told you Kemp's a kicker that is committed to Kansas, and he's good. He got a big leg, and did you see that kick? That was a no-doubter from 50-something yards to take the lead for Bartram Trail over Oakleaf. Coos, you didn't have that much faith in the kicker, did you?
I was going to see if he wanted to play for the Jags.
Yes, I'm a little disappointed in myself. I didn't say that line, but Josh Lambo is back now, so I feel a little better about the Jags kicking situation. I'm not as depressed, but given the last month or so, maybe we should have given this young man a contract and just bypassed college. How about that? Now, I keep saying he's committed to Kansas. I think he might have come from Kansas, and he might not be committed to Kansas, but he's a big-time kicker. So I'll have to double-check that. But he's got a huge leg, as you could just see. And David Kemp just put Bartram Trail in the lead. And in a way that you just don't see very much in high school football, a huge kick over 50 yards, if the scoreboard was right, at where they were on that possession. And now Oakleaf will get the ball back and see if they can go down and either tie it up or win the game, because they have 83 seconds, and they've got probably the best quarterback in the area, Walter Simmons III, going to East Carolina. I'm going to just tweet this out so everybody can join us. Big field goal from David Kemp to give Bartram Trail the lead from 50-plus yards. With 90 seconds to go, we'll call it, even though it's a little bit less than that. All right, here we go. So Oakleaf and Walter Simmons III try to go to work and get something to happen here. And Bartram Trail's defense so far up to the task in the last possession and now on first down of this possession as we got a little over a minute to play. Clock does stop after first downs momentarily in high school, but it's just a little bit different trying to rush around in high school getting plays off than it is that you're used to watching on TV, even in college, and definitely, of course, in the NFL, and that's for obvious reasons. Now, Simmons can obviously run, and he's a big-time athlete, but Bartram Trail's all over him at both sides of the field. So they are ready for the East Carolina commit at the quarterback spot. We're going to take it to the end of this game. We usually go until 10 o'clock. Coos, let's just hang on a little bit longer. I also want to get our Blitz QB high five. And last week, Walter Simmons III, by the way, was our number one QB on that list. And this week he might have made the list. And a couple Bartram Trail QBs might have made the list. So that's a little bit of a teaser, but I want to see the end of this game before we show you the actual list. Here's Simmons, and the ball's batted up in the air. So now it's going to be 4th and 11 for Oakleaf as they are trying to rally back after giving up a 27-20 lead. Bartram Trail has scored 10 unanswered points. And Coos, give me an idea of what's going on, because you'll see it way before me if you don't mind. I wouldn't be surprised. There's not going to be a timeout.
Deep pass.
You want to do play-by-play?
Incomplete.
Incomplete. So Oakleaf is going to lose the football game. Now I'm seeing it for myself, and I just want to make sure you're right. Yes, you are. It was a good throw by Walter Simmons III. Just couldn't be hauled in down the other end of the field. So Bartram Trail is going to hang on and get the win. And once again, here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show, we have an exciting game and an exciting finish that we bring to you live. Bartram Trail will beat Oakleaf 30-27. They trailed 13-3. They trailed 27-20 with about 5 minutes to go. They scored 10 points in the final 5 minutes. And David Kemp is really the hero of this one because you just don't see it in high school football very often. A 50-plus yard field goal, if I am correct at where I saw the line of scrimmage. And David Kemp wins the game with a I'm going to call it like 54-yard field goal. We'll have to get the absolute yardage on it to beat Oakleaf in comeback fashion. And now Bartram Trail can kneel on this thing and end the game. And another win for Darryl Sutherland. What a great game. Two really good programs, two really good football teams. You know, at times over the years, they're in the same district, and they've like Bartram Trail has beaten Oakleaf, and Oakleaf doesn't make the playoffs because of it. They're like 7-3, and on the outside looking in because the district is so difficult. Well, the good thing about this year is you don't have to worry about that. Everybody's going to the playoffs, so tough loss for Oakleaf, but they showed how game they are, and they can hang with anybody in the area. Bartram Trail gets the win, though, 30-27. I still think Bartram Trail probably, for my guess, is the best team in the area. Their lone loss coming against American Heritage, I believe it was, and they got thumped pretty good by them. But they've had a heck of a season so far as we get closer and closer to the postseason. Buchholz, by the way, did come back not come back, but they did beat Fleming Island 24-21. That was another game we were keeping a close eye on. We showed you earlier, Hilliard stays undefeated. They beat Fernandina Beach 36-31 in our Honda of the Avenues game of the week. And a good one right here, right? You just watched on the Blitz Scoreboard Show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Bartram Trail beats Oakleaf 30-27. All right, Coos, let's end the show with our Blitz QB high five. And if we could put that up there, well, this game will be well represented in quarterbacks. If you take a look at this list, by the way, this is coming into the night, so we don't change it like just now. But Cale Zara, who lost with Lee to Trinity Christian, it was a tough night for the Generals. But Cale Zara has been playing excellent football. Had him number one on the list for this week's high five. And then we got the Bartram Trail quarterbacks. It's a dual quarterback system, Santino Marucci and Brody Davis from Bartram Trail. So we give them 2A and 2B. And then Walter Simmons III, who was number one on this list last week. We like to spread the wealth, but we keep Walter in there. And a heck of a game tonight. They just come up short on the road against Bartram Trail. And Cam Miller, excellent game last week for Fernandina Beach, offensively and defensively. And tonight, Fernandina Beach comes up just short as they lose to Hilliard in our Game of the Week, brought to you by Honda of the Avenues, 36-31. So this is our Blitz QB high five, and we'll give a shout-out to some of the other quarterbacks in the area coming up each and every week right here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. All right, man, we did it again. That's it. We went overtime today. You know, last week we went overtime. We brought you Trinity Christian's kick. Now, we didn't get to call that one. We were off the air, but we showed it to you on the video platforms as Trinity Christian won on the road 3-0. And how about this? We end the show with another big field goal. David Kemp, I believe that kick was over 50 yards, and he wins the game for Bartram Trail. And it was a booming kick. We'll show it to you again on the Friday Night Blitz. That's coming up at 10:30 on Action News Jack's Facebook page, on the Action News Jack's app, and then at 11:20 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Thanks for hanging out with us. We love doing the show. Having a lot of fun doing it. Thanks to Verlin Dormany, Bobby Ramsey for calling in, Stuart Weber as well, Marcel Robinson and Ryan Kendall for giving us live pictures from Hilliard and also Bartram Trail. And, of course, thanks for Justin Kuzar, who comes in on a Friday night to hang out with us and talk some high school football. All weekend long, we got you covered. Jags, college football, and, of course, tomorrow on ESPN 690, noontime kick for Florida State and Louisville. ESPN 690, your home for the Florida State Seminoles in football and basketball. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you on the Blitz in just a little bit on the Action News Jax app and Facebook page.